Now, similar instances of poltergeist activity suddenly spiked along the Euphrates River roughly around 2018. This had led the victims to suspect that Djinn are at fault. One spiritual healer, who has been confronting the supernatural head-on, disclosed in an interview a terrifying revelation. He stated that a staggering 8 million Djinn roam the Euphrates area with the assistance of 150,000 human sorcerers leading them. Therefore, if what this healer says is true, the residents of the Euphrates region are facing a prelude to a full-scale invasion. But an invasion from where? As of 2023, the Deir ez-Zor region in Syria had been experiencing a number of unexplainable phenomena for several years, centered around the Euphrates River, a region steeped in both ancient mysticism and modern geopolitical tensions. Reports from local communities spanning from Syria into Iraq indicate a surge in anomalous occurrences consistent with both Persian and Arabian folklore, as well as Christian millennial beliefs concerning the end of days. These instances range from seemingly innocuous cases where a large number of residents have complained about personal belongings mysteriously vanishing, only to reappear days later with strange burn marks, to multiple occurrences of possible Djinn possession, and even the disturbing recordings of what appears to be the voices of demons emerging from once submerged caves within the Euphrates itself. In this episode of Mysterious Middle East, we'll examine the various types of highly localized phenomena impacting the districts surrounding the Euphrates. Here, we will unearth a terrifying secret known to Syrian occultists concerning a theoretical threat that is both grounded in decades-old political tensions and an ancient cosmic horror millions of years in the making.
من الذي أتى معك؟ قال الذي أتى معنا مجموعة من السحارين تعدادهم أكثر من 105,000 سحار.
These ancient civilizations along the Euphrates River wielded significant power and amassed great wealth. Their enduring legacies encompassed a wealth of art and literature, though legend also tells of the wielding of Lovecraftian artifacts imbued with dark magic that they used to enforce their power. However, in a bid to safeguard the world against such evil, it is said that God submerged the civilizations deep within the depth of the Euphrates River, forever containing their evil within its sediments. Hence, religious or not, the Euphrates River holds profound historical importance as it is known as the Great River in both Hebrew and Christian scriptures. Its waters were believed to originate from the Gardens of Eden, setting the stage for numerous pivotal biblical events alongside its banks. Furthermore, in ancient times the Euphrates River served as a natural boundary separating the east from the west, acting as a protective barrier alongside the Mediterranean Sea from the vast deserts to the southeast. This river is imbued with spiritual and physical significance, shaping the biblical narratives that have, in turn, shaped human history, as the river was once home to some of the world's earliest civilizations. Around 5,000 years ago, the Sumerians, credited with the creation of the world's first irrigation systems, established the initial settlements along the banks of the Euphrates River, but also crafted a sophisticated society deeply in agriculture and trade. Subsequently, the Akkadians entered the stage, followed by the Babylonians. The latter were renowned for their groundbreaking contributions to mathematics and astronomy.
A government report in 2021 warned that the Euphrates River could run dry by 2040 due to declining water levels and droughts driven by climate change. According to both local and American scientists, a total collapse of the river system would significantly impact millions of people across Turkey, Syria, and Iraq who rely on the Tigris-Euphrates for water, effectively turning the river dry. However, according to some, this natural geological event could be the herald for a supernatural event of significant importance to occur. In late 2022, social media was flooded with reports concerning unexplainable noises emerging from the Euphrates itself between November and December of that year. A number of users took to TikTok and YouTube, stating that definitive evidence of an anomalous location had been recorded on video via sounds of terrifying, disembodied voices emerging from formerly submerged caves. These sounds, according to the users' claim, allegedly correspond directly to biblical prophecies concerning the emergence of a paranormal force in the guise of powerful demons who will wreak havoc across the globe as part of an event called the Seven Bowls of Judgment. The Seven Bowls, also known as the Seven Last Plagues, are a series of catastrophic events described in the biblical book of Revelation. When each of these 7 bowls is poured out by 7 angels, they bring about various forms of divine punishment upon the earth. According to the narrative, the 6th bowl will see the Euphrates River dry up, heralding the arrival of demons that play a role in gathering the kings of the world for a final global conflict between good and evil. While some believers think the noises emanating from these caves could be from these entities, other believers question the video's authenticity and validity, noting that A, it's from TikTok, a famous app known for promoting nonsense, and more seriously B, the 7 pourings from these bowls are understood to happen in the sequential order written in Revelations. For example, before the emergence of these demons, the first 5 bowls would see an outbreak of horrible sores upon the global population. In addition to the disappearances of all sea life, neither of these things have occurred. Regardless, that does not mean that the river as it stands today in the 21st century has not been home to a range of anomalous occurrences that can have a significantly profound impact on the rest of the world. Both local and regional authorities where the river runs through have referenced the surge in reports concerning unexplainable events amongst the locals of the Euphrates. In the previous episode, we delved into the detail of the poltergeist activity in Turkey, the Mediterranean, and the Gulf, spanning from the mid-2000s to early 2021. In some cases, objects would mysteriously be displaced, but in all events, untraceable fires would occur. These manifestations eventually became so disruptive that Turkish authorities in particular launched a full-scale inquiry into the phenomena. This action was prompted after a government employee, a cameraman, felt his clothing ignite while filming at a location where one anomaly was known to occur. To watch the episode, check the description box below. Now, similar instances of poltergeist activity suddenly spiked along the Euphrates River roughly around 2018. This occurred in a region known as Syria's Deir ez-Zor. Here, a dramatic increase in the number of reports concerning stolen items were made to local authorities. What made these thefts unusual is that the stolen items would not remain stolen. They were often found by their owners or neighbors in increasingly bizarre and unexpected places, such as toilets, animal shelters, and abandoned sites. Whoever is taking these items, many of which are extremely valuable, seems to have no interest in keeping them. Often, when these objects are retrieved, they're found with unusual burn marks on them, reminiscent of the Turkish fire anomalies. This had led the victims to suspect that Djinn are at fault. These are an invisible race of human-like entities made from fire. They're not demons, but it is understood that they exist in a parallel realm to our own, secured by a veil that prevents them from directly interacting with humans, although not completely. One individual recounts a family member losing $4,000 in Syrian currency. With the help of a spiritual healer, he communicated with a Djinn who pinpointed the stolen money's location. But this isn't the strangest part of the story. According to Just Press, a Franco-Arab news outlet that conducted an in-depth investigation into the phenomena, one spiritual healer who has been confronting the supernatural head-on disclosed in an interview a terrifying revelation. He stated that a staggering 8 million Djinn roam the Euphrates area with the assistance of 100,000 human sorcerers leading them. Because it's difficult for humans and Djinn to interact with each other, magic is often employed to bridge our worlds. Therefore, if what this healer says is true, the residents of the Euphrates region are not dealing with a handful of mischievous entity playing hide and seek with their valuables. Instead, they seem to be facing a prelude to a full-scale invasion. But an invasion from where? If you've made it this far into this episode, the most obvious answer for some of you might be consistent with the prophecy of the 7 bowls of judgment. However, an alternative perspective on this prophetic narrative replaces the extra-dimensional with the extraterrestrial. Several episodes ago, we discussed the exopolitics think tank and their theory that the entire Mesopotamian region, from modern-day Kuwait to Turkey and Iran, was once home to a technologically advanced society of humans who gained their knowledge from actual aliens. These aliens were so scientifically advanced that ancient humans viewed them and their technology as literal supernatural forces. According to this theory, could these advanced beings or their technology still exist today? Well, one popular theory on this matter is the Stargate hypothesis, where ancient Sumerian beings apparently possessed gateways that could instantly transport them from planet to planet, or even to extra-dimensional locations. In a recent episode concerning a highly secretive archaeological dig beneath an abandoned villa nicknamed the Red House in Tarsus, Turkey, we discussed the theories of Haluk Uzdin, a central figure in the investigation who boldly claims that the Turkish government had discovered one of these gateways deep beneath the house. In 2016, they spent an entire year investigating the anomaly. Özdil states that the technology for this gateway is alien in origin, brought into the country from Austria during the 1930s. However, other theorists suggest that there are a number of these gateways not only across Turkey, but also in the wider Middle East and Latin America. Aligned with this theory, the author and journalist Richard Leviton asserts that there are a total of 49 incomplete stargates in the Tigris-Euphrates River Valley alone. Another researcher, Elizabeth Beck, suggests that a potentially complete stargate exists beneath the Mesopotamian city of Eridu near the Euphrates. And of course, she and similar theorists believe that all of our modern religious understanding of the supernatural stems from the way ancient civilizations misunderstood the technologically advanced races they allegedly encountered hundreds of thousands of years ago. However, according to the investigation done by Just Press, the spiritual healer who revealed an 8 million strong army of Djinn exists in and around the Euphrates are neither alien in origin, nor are they consistent with the biblical text. Instead, he states that they're simply a force of Djinn dispatched from the Shamia region across the Euphrates River by a foreign political power. Now, while the concept of this 8 million strong invisible army doing nothing more than moving household objects around sounds more than a bit silly, residents of the area wholeheartedly believe that they've directly seen and even interacted with these beings. For clarification, a local exorcist interviewed by the publication asserts that this demonic force present in Syria work on a strategy that is less aggressive and more psychological. They steal with the intent of causing societal conflict, prompting neighbors to turn against each other. He explains, for example, the Djinn takes what belongs to you and places it on your neighbor's property to be found at a later date, causing distrust and drama. More disturbingly, the exorcist speaks of a growing anomalous influence on the young of the region. Here, he gives an example involving a family where a very young child unusually speaks in strong Damascus accent, the Shami dialect, without ever having traveled to Damascus. Upon performing ruqya on the child, the Djinn, speaking directly through the infant, claimed that it was born in Damascus, many kilometers away from where the child it was possessing was actually born. And according to the healer, many people from the region now also speak in this accent without having been to the city, indicating to him that the phenomena is just one of many symptoms of the paranormal manifesting near the Euphrates. In conclusion, it's important to note that a number of Syrian and Iraqi sociologists who are actively studying this spike in supernatural reports have been keen to note that from as recently as the 1980s, illegal antiquities traders had been aggressively co-opting local folklore as a cover to disguise from residents their activities, using superstition to keep people from looking too deeply into their crimes. As a consequence, the last 30 years has seen these stories grow from rumor to what many believe is reality. While this is the likeliest explanation for many instances of the paranormal, actual eyewitness testimonies to supernatural events still exist, and it's these testimonies that are growing in frequency. From the cries of demons from once submerged caves to the rise in poltergeist manifestation, what do you think could be the cause? Psychology, biblical demons, cosmic entities, an army of Djinn, or a complicated combination of all four theories? Leave your opinion below. Make sure you're still subscribed. Please press the like button, and see you in the next one.